Welcome back. Now, the advent of COVID-19 would see the government, of course, forced to reallocate resources towards healthcare and public sensitization on COVID-19. There was an increase in donor funding and donation of medical equipment from local as well as international partners. In the midst of the rush, allegations of grafting handling the resources as well as medical equipment would emerge, sparking outrage and investigations by anti-graft bodies. Gladys Mungai looks at some of those scandals.
Claims that funds meant to fight COVID-19 could have ended up in the pockets of a few Kenyans through dubious tenders would spark an uproar and result in investigations over the alleged loss of billions of shillings.
Susan Mochache.
Yes.
There were requests from the Cabinet Secretary, Honorable...
Written or by phone call?
Either phone calls, most of them SMSs and phone calls.
Yes.
We did have from the National Emergency Response.
Which CS? It's good to give us names for the record.
We've said the Honorable Mutai Kagwe.
Yes.
There were claims that PPE supplied to KEMSA were infiltrated by huge margins, pushing the bicameral parliament to investigate the claims.
It will be the use of the board for this company while Kenya is losing money and building billionaires.
Chair.
You guys do not live en masse. The ministry could request for a board meeting, emergency board meeting, and you could discuss all those issues. But those things were not done. So let's forget all the other issues. Things were not done proper, Chairman.
Do you authorize, as a board, did you authorize the CEO to commit KEMSA on this COVID purchases?
No.
You did not authorize the...
No, we did not.
The CEO?
We did not.
This would result in suspension of the Kenya Medical Supplies Agency CEO, John Amanjari.
We have this morning resolved as a board to suspend the services of the following officers. Now, our Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Jonah Mwangi Manjari. Number 2, the Procurement Director, Mr. Charles Juma. And number 3, the Commercial Director, Mr. Eliud Murithi. Those 3 officers stand suspended from today, 14th of August 2020, until such time as the EACC completes its investigations and gives a direction.
An ensuing blame game would emerge amid rising pressure to have those implicated in the graft behind bars. Shocking revelations were also made on how those behind the $1 million tenders got the tenders without following the due process.
I prayed about it, and I can tell you without fear that actually it is God who directed me there.
The letterhead has broke, and we didn't have any person.
Chairman, I think just an intervention, Chairman. I think you should also be protecting us from some of the very vague
agree with you.
Irritating reasons.
I agree with you.
She's not supposed to be taking us for kids, telling us, Chairman, during that time that there were no people in town. Then how was she transacting business?
The probe also uncovered evidence of tenders being allegedly given to politically connected individuals and businesses.
Received by the CEO, and the CEO has a signature.
Facilitated.
PD, this is the procurement department, facilitated on the same day. Give me the facts now, if you disagree.
Because I picked the commitment letter on 8th. I was called by KEMSA on 8th to pick the commitment letter. How the letter reached to CEO's office at that time?
It was, however, the disappearance of personal protective gears donated by Jack Ma Foundation that heightened anger among Kenyans. Medical officers also took to the streets, demanding supplies of PPEs and risk allowances. Investigations targeting businessmen that allegedly pilfered millions of public funds earmarked for medical equipment needed in the fight against coronavirus are still ongoing. The directive by the President and a report by the Auditor General on the mismanagement of COVID-19 funds is yet to bear fruits, with 0 successful prosecutions so far. It is now a game of wait and see if the alleged perpetrators accused of stealing from the sick will be unearthed and put to account, or the allegations will be found to be unfounded. For Channel 1 News, I'm Gladys Mongai.